anyway, they're floaters and sinkers. But a small kid who's, been drowned and swallowed water, very likely going to stay down.
Floaters and sinkers is going to be our bad name.
I love my...
floaters and sinkers. Oh, son of a bitch.
Right in the eye.
Oh, the good eye, too.
Oh.
Fucked here for a second.
That's all right.
Even as a kid, Cole knew that he had done something pretty terrible here, and he spent the next few months worried that any day now the cops are going to show up at his door and start asking him about Dwayne.
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't
They
seem...
should have.
Yeah. But also during this time, it doesn't seem like coming forward ever crossed his mind for a second.
Well, no.
Not in the least.
I'm not going to tell on myself.
What? Why would I do that?
I'm not a snitch.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah,
it gets complicated when it's yourself.
Yeah.
But he had little to worry about, and this would become a very common theme in Cole's life, so get ready. Because the police who investigated the death of Dwayne, they chalked it up as an accidental drowning.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. The police closed the case, and with that, Cole had gotten away with his first murder at the age of 8.
Off to a running start.
Self-starter.
Yeah.
Bootstraps. As Cole later explained, quote, I was afraid of the police, with reason as I thought, but there was no remorse about Dwayne. I hated him, and I was glad I stood up for myself. If I thought my life was going to improve, though, I was sadly mistaken. Neither at home or at school, I was getting meaner and meaner, fighting all the time in a way to hurt or maim, and my thoughts were not the ideas of an innocent child, believe me.
Duh, we know.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, right? That's clear.
But to me, he kind of reminds me of David Most a bit at this age, where he's fucked up, but he's fully aware of it. He's not fighting it as much as Most.
But he's aware of it.
He's very aware of it, and he knows it's just going downhill.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to get better, but apparently it's not. Also, this is inappropriate sentence number 2, because he got away with murder for nothing. Yeah. With his first murder under his belt, Cole got a lot more violent at school with his peers.
Yeah, you
Fuck
fucking
it, I'm a
think?
killer now.
Yeah.
Who'd you call a girl?
Yeah. I didn't kill you. I killed our friend.
I didn't like him, but... Yeah.
Yeah.
Classmate. We'll call him a classmate. He was an acquaintance.
Yeah.
He's dead now. It doesn't matter.
Right.
He started fighting literally anyone that made fun of him or even looked at him sideways. Because fuck it. Why not? Yeah. And it's funny because he was not a big guy. He was 5'7", 160 as an adult. So he was just this little angry dude who, if you crossed him at all, he would just start swinging. Yeah. And he went so far as to maim a kid that he didn't like.
At least I didn't kill him.
Right,
Just
probably.
maimed this one.
If I could have got him alone, I fucking would have.
I bet.
This kid, who had no name apparently, he's just a no-name kid, had beaten Cole in a yo-yo competition, which was apparently too much for Cole to handle.
Wow.
Fair enough, I take yo-yoing very seriously.
My ego?
Oh my god.
And yo-yoing? I can't take this.
I get it was a different time. But
still.
This is a little overreaction.
A little.
We'll see in a little bit. Cole stewed on it until one day when the two were playing on some road equipment. And Cole saw his chance for revenge. When the kid put his hands on the tread of the machine, Cole engaged the gears and permanently mangled this kid's hand.
Fucker.
For beating him at yo-yo.
Well, you'll never yo-yo again, motherfucker.
That was your yo-yo in hand.
Now.
I waited until it was your yo-yo hand. You had your left up there? No. Fuck that. And as he got older and his behavior got worse and worse, Cole had his intelligence tested in 1953 when he was 15. Because this was, in the 50s, IQ tests were right until the 70s. It was a massive thing, as a diagnostic, which is ridiculous because I took an internet IQ test. I'm like fucking Einstein. Obviously. But despite what was originally thought about Cole, he surprised everyone when the test showed he had an IQ of 152, which is by far genius level.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, this was never reflected in his grades, which were constantly C's and D's. And
I don't give a fuck about school.
Yep, and Cole eventually dropped out of school in the 11th grade. So he had the intelligence.
He made it further than most of that time period with this kind of life. So
absolutely.
That's not
And he started late, too, so this would have been 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like, because he started 6 or 7 years.
he's an adult.
Yeah. And also, I feel for him for this. He had the intelligence, he just never used it in school, which, hello! Yeah. Have you met me?
I have.
That's basically the story of my entire time in school. Like, my teachers were all, we can tell he's smart. We can tell something's happening up there. It just doesn't translate to any of his work. By the time he dropped out, Cole had started a routine he would follow for most of his life. Heavy drinking, burglaries, and so many petty crimes. Along with the murders. Like, these are peppered in throughout.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta pay with my bills.
Absolutely. Shortly
after...
after...
I get a job.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
I'd rather rob the place that was going to hire me.
Yeah, that seems easier.
Oh, fuck, who was that?
If I killed someone when I was 8, robbery's nothing.
Charles Campbell, the one day at the pizza shop, and then he fucking robbed it. That guy's such an asshole.
Yeah. Fuck.
Shortly after dropping out of school, Cole was arrested while burglarizing a liquor store. Makes sense, liquor and money.
Right.
And his parents were notified, because he's still young, right? He's still under 20 at this time. Laverne wanted to bail Cole out, but Vesta refused and Cole was left in jail for a couple days, which probably didn't help with his hatred towards his mother.
No, it probably didn't, but I'd be tempted to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe not a few days, but at least overnight.
You dropped out of school and then you robbed a liquor store.
Yeah, right? You're cool on your heels at least overnight, kid.
You need to think about things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was also around this time that Cole realized he shared another classic trait of many serial killers. Impotence, or the Chikatilo limp.
Oh, no.
Cole was a decent-looking guy, and he had no trouble with women throughout his life, with one report saying he looked like Clark Gable. And on top of that, like I mentioned, he was well-spoken and a pretty charming dude.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why he had no trouble picking women up, because, he's that type. I'm a good-looking dude. I look half-decent. I don't seem like a total dick.
I can string a few words together.
I can have a conversation. I'm very calm about it. Like, he's also that very soft-spoken, which, just like me. When he's not killing. I'm sure when he's killing, it's a whole different thing.
Right.
Or else he still is this calm, suave dude, just, I'm gonna strangle you now. Then I'm gonna fuck your body.
Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, get ready for that. In his first couple sexual experiences, he found out he had mage ween probs. So that's where we find the Chikatilo limp, which, from the best I could figure out, was an on-again and off-again problem throughout his life. Another time while he was still a teenager, Cole had Chikatilo limp with another girl, and he said he had an almost uncontrollable urge to strangle her when it happened.
Well, it's her fault.
And I'm assuming
Clearly.
This is exactly what happens over and over, because he gives other explanations. Like I said about the promiscuous mother and these women that I killed reminded me of my mother. I think this is the truth. He would pick up women, and if he had the Chikatilo limp, it was their fault, and he would kill them.
Of course.
I mean, it is, isn't it?
Right.
Give him the countdown.
59.
Oh, God.
58. Even then, that can be an awkward thing. And if they handled it by...
Not murdering?
Laughing. There are ways that are easier to make that...
Not murdering?
And not murdering. And with someone as crazy and easy to tip over the edge, yeah.
I feel like what you're saying is impotence is not a reason to kill women.
It's definitely not, and it's not our fault either.
Gina with a hot take. Gina with a hot take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are definitely ways to, handle a limp dick and not be,
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't laugh at the guy.
Yeah, but I don't think that happens very often.
No.
Honestly, unless the guy starts freaking out, and then what are you supposed to do?
Right.
You've got the limp, and now you're freaking out. Okay, this is funny.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny. I can't help it. Like, Jesus Christ, look at you.
It's not that big a deal.
Right.
It's reset.
Smoke a joint, reset.
Yeah, man. It's a dick. It'll work eventually. Don't freak out about it.
So after dropping out of school and, robbing a liquor store, Cole got a job in a Richmond factory. But he got fired almost right away for fighting another employee, which was probably, your name's Carroll? That's a girl's name. Whap! With nothing going on in his life, Cole joined the Navy in February 1957 at the age of 18, because that's what people do.
Yeah.
If you have no other options,
Yeah, right?
you join the Navy.
Yeah.
But of course, the military did little to slow him down in any way, shape, or form.
You think.
Here's another spot where we get fuzzy spots on Cole's life, as he claimed he traveled to a bunch of ports around the world during his time in the Navy, but he was only in the services for about a year and a half, which, yeah, you probably saw some ports, but I can't imagine you travel the entire fucking world in the American Navy in a year and a half, because you got to get trained first.
Yeah.
Right? They're not going to send you off the coast of Russia to go train. No, they're going to send you off the coast of wherever you are. Yeah. So, yeah, there's no fucking way. So it's another one of his, I traveled the world in the Navy. And
I mean, also, he would have service records that should be verifiable through.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But try to get 1950s
right.
service records from...
Oh, they're not going to give them to us.
From a serial killer.
But, yeah. That stuff would at least be more verifiable than certain other things.
Absolutely. Yeah. What was verified is that Cole spent most of his time drunk while he was in the Navy, and he was thrown in the brig for stealing government property.
Awesome.
Now, this sounds more like him.
I'm betting it wasn't a pen.
No, it's probably liquor. That's government liquor. We give, all the sailors a shot at noon. Keep them fucking snappy on watch. While in the brig, the Navy found out that Cole had been arrested in San Diego for suspicion of burglary and for car theft, and they used this to dishonorably discharge Cole on October 4th, 1958. So the whole story with the brig, of course, Cole's version is different than, I stole government property and then they found out I was a criminal.
Shocker.
And then they dishonorably discharged me. He claims he was beaten every day in the brig and begged to be let out of the Navy, even if it meant taking a dishonorable discharge. It's full of shit, but it's smart because it takes a kernel of truth and it twists it to make it look like, hey, I did what I had to do to get out of a bad situation.
Right.
Instead of, I got busted for stealing, the Navy found out I steal cars and shit, and they threw me out.
Yeah.
This is Carroll Cole to a fucking T.
I'm not really the bad guy.
Somehow he's always the victim.
Yeah.
He's the dictum. Act like a dick and always act like the victim.
Yeah. It works.
It kind of is.
It's a
It kind of
system.
does. Yeah, it kind of does work.
Shouldn't, but...
After his discharge, Cole went back to live with his parents again, probably because of the limited options he had with a nice, fresh, dishonorable discharge to his name. So what were you doing for the last year and a half? How's in the Navy? How'd that end? See all that
I got
red?
kicked the fuck out.
They kicked me way the fuck out.
Yeah, so not well, but I can flip a burger.
While living at home, he said Vesta laid into him daily about his dishonorable discharge and basically for being a general fuck-up, which, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean...
Vesta's got a point.
I've met some parents who would absolutely do that. Yeah.
Especially when he's probably just sitting there drunk the entire time.
Right.
Right?
Complaining about how he's the victim.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cole worked whatever odd job he could find in the neighborhood until the summer of 1960, and this is when his life really started to get out of control. So 1960, he's 22-ish, and woo! We're gonna
nosedive?
Downhill slide. Woo! On June 1st, 1960, Cole went prowling around Richmond. He approached a couple he found parked in a well-known lover's lane, and with no provocation, he attacked the pair with a hammer that he had just brought with him.
Was he making his own vegetables?
He was making his own vegetables with his special hammer.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. So just walks up to a car on lover's lane, opens the door, and just starts bashing.
This guy's dick works. I'm upset.
My dick works. It's about my mother. It's not my dick. My dick works fine. Look, I'm a good-looking dude. I'm fine. My dick's fucking hard right now. It's about Mom.
Uh-huh. Here's this willing chick. Stick it in her.
Nah.
Oh, where'd it go?
Cole